Well, welcome back to Little Hollow Homestead once again. My brother-in-law, who raises chickens, and we raise the pigs out at his cabin, about 80 miles away from home here. There's about 4 feet of snow still out there, so we just went and got him a bunch of laying chicks. We're going to brood them along. If I can keep my dog's nose out of them. Izzy, come on. Those aren't for you. I'm going to brood them along with my meat chickens. And we'll probably leave them in here probably till the first week of May or so. And then we'll take them out and we'll put them out at the cabin in his big chicken coop. We'll bring you along for that journey. But for right now, we're going to unbox these chicks that we just bought. And we got about 4 turkeys, I think. I don't know. He just kind of went nuts like we all do when we buy baby chicks. So let's take a look and see what we got. You can't see it, but Izzy is just infatuated with these peeping boxes, aren't you? But we're going to do the same thing we did to meat chickens. Izzy, no, that's not for you. These chicks were at a local feed store, so they're probably well aware of how to get their water. But hey, that's not for you. Better be over prepared and reintroduce them. Just in case. What do you think, Izzy? More chickens, I know. Just what you wanted. See, some of these are a little bit older than you would get from a hatchery mail order. Excuse me. They've got their primary feathers on their wings already. That's good. They'll definitely mature a lot quicker. It's a little blue Andrelasian or something. I've never raised this one before, so it'll be interesting to see how she turns out. All right, thought I'd show you the turkeys. These are bronze. Hey, dog. You can smell them, don't eat them. These are bronze turkeys. Izzy thinks it's Thanksgiving. It's not. Go away. Bronze turkeys. We got 4 of these guys. Turkeys are not the brightest birds. I have brooded them with chicks before last year. Turned out good. Told you they weren't very smart. Where are you going, dude? He walks right towards the dog. Not smart. You need to move, dog. Anyway, there's the turkeys in. We'll finish the process and show you the brooder. It will be at maximum capacity here. Well, that is a full brooder. Newly introduced chicks, and there's the turkey and the meat chickens all huddled up. So this should be a lot of fun over the next few weeks. Like I say, I keep my brooder set up year-round, so I do this for family and friends just because I've got the facility all set up ready to do it. And this turkey, for some reason, is not happy with his new home. Dude, you gotta go in there. Look, there's food. Okay. If you're interested in the food, you won't try and escape. Anyway, here comes another one. Stand, dude. Anyway, full brooder. Spring is in full swing here at Little Hollow Homestead. This is a good sign. Hopefully it'll warm up. Okay, we got the new arrivals all tucked in. Looks like everybody's getting along okay. That's always a good sign. Meat chickens are happy. New additions are trying to find their way. Turkeys looks like they're doing okay. So, yeah, that's what a full brooder looks like. That should keep me busy for the next 3 to 4 weeks. As soon as the weather warms up enough, I'll move those meat chickens down in the hollow to my meat chicken pen. Or I've got a heat lamp because it usually stays a little colder down there longer. But we'll get them moved probably about first, second week of May. These chicks actually belong to Uncle Muffin. So it's been a while since I've had Uncle Muffin in a video. Today, that's as close as we're going to get to him, is seeing his chicks. But as soon as the snow melts out to his cabin, there's still about 4 feet of snow out there. He was out there today. These chicks will make the trip out there, and the turkeys, and they'll live out there in his coop. He's got a great big coop. And my meat chickens will go down into the meat chicken pen down in the hollow, and that's where they'll live until about the end of May or so, right before Memorial Day, I think, is the scheduled butcher date for them. And then I will have, in the meantime, as soon as my brooder's empty, like I say, I'll clean it out, disinfect it real good. And then my chicks will come from, I think I ordered them from Ideal Hatchery in Texas. It's been so long ago, I've about forgotten. But we have a full brooder right now, as you can tell. And that will keep me definitely busy for the next few weeks. They will go through a ton of food and a ton of water, and I'll have to clean them out. And you know how it goes. Anyway, we're going to get busy here. I'm going to actually start my cucumbers and my squash. Some other seeds. I'll keep you informed, and I'll show you that process. Okay, so you can see I got my potting mix mixed with vermiculite, or perlite rather. Perlite. Yep, perlite, in the dry potting soil right now. I've got this granular fertilizer. It's a 4-5-6 fertilizer. Good organic fertilizer for tomato and vegetables. The application rate is 1.5 cups per 10 square feet. So I'm not going to use very much. Just sprinkle it in my potting soil. And we're going to mix that up. And then what I do for my established plants that are growing is I've got this, it's a 3-2-3. Again, it's true organic fertilizer that I will feed to my existing plants, my existing seedlings, when I water them. So that's the fertilizer I use for those. So to get this going, I actually had to go out and buy a seed tray, which I don't normally have to do, but I'm starting, like I say, I'm starting my cucumbers and my squash indoors this year just because it's been so cold for so long. I need to get them a head start. Normally I would just direct sow them. I am still going to direct sow my pumpkin seed that I saved from last year and my banana squash seed. Both of these will serve a dual purpose. Not only will it provide pumpkins for the kids for Halloween and enough banana squash to feed an army. I'm going to grow a ton of it, and it's going to go out to the pigs, out where we raise our pigs. They love it, and it's a good variation of their diet as well. So let's keep going. I'm going to saturate this soil, get it good and mixed up. And then I'm going to fill my little seed tray here, and then we'll actually sow the seeds. Pretty high-tech method of saturating my soil. And just get in and work it so it's nice and saturated. And the dogs are going to hit the tripod because they're screwing around again, aren't you? Play, play, play. That is Stella's middle name. All right, so we'll get this all nice and saturated. Fill our little cells here. And then we'll show you the sowing process. I'm going to get my camera all dirty. My phone. Nice thing about this, you just kind of fill your cells. I always end up making a huge mess. I'm sure today will be no different. Get these all good and filled with our mixture. And we'll be planting seeds here in no time. Okay, the varieties I'm going to be planting today. This is a Suyo long cucumber. It's one of those great big long cucumbers that are really fun to grow. I'm going to go just regular butternut squash. And then this Hasselapasta hybrid squash, I'm really excited to try. This is recommended for our area. It says it grows really well. So we'll give that a try. I'm also going to try a mashed, it's called mashed potatoes hybrid squash. They say it has the consistency and flavor of mashed potatoes. So we're going to try that. Cucumbers, I love the Marketmores. We're going to grow Marketmore cucumbers and then regular spaghetti squash. I don't start my zucchini or my yellow crookneck squash. I direct sow those just because it is okay. I don't start my zucchini and my yellow squash. I direct sow those just because they grow well and they really don't need a head start. But these take a little longer to mature, and so we're going to get them planted right now. About as fancy as I get, if I don't use my finger, just a Sharpie. We'll just go ahead and poke holes about 1/4 inch deep. And then from there we will sow our seeds. You get the idea. All right, here we go. We're going to do our Suyo long cucumbers first. It says there's 20 seeds in here. First year I've grown these. We're going to see how they go. I'm going to put 2 seeds per hole. And then I like to run my seeds because I'm going to plant a lot of different varieties in this tray. I like to run them this way, and then I'll put a marker in the top of the row. And how about that? We have 3 left. So we're going to go crazy and put 3 seeds in that last hole. Okay, so now we know that is the Suyo cucumbers. I just have these old, they're just little styrofoam sticks that it was just like an advertisement on them. They're really sturdy. Nice thing about them is you write on them every year. They'll fade and you can just rub it off and start over again. So here we're going to do the Suyo. If I can spell it. Oh, not as difficult as it sounds. Suyo, we'll stick that in the top without compromising our seed placement very much. And we'll just kind of go down the line. I'll do the Marketmores here and then the different varieties, and we'll get this tray planted. We'll show you the finished product, and we'll stick it in my little makeshift seed starting greenhouse, if I can find room. So if I can make a little plug for Dollar Seed. I'm not sponsored. They don't pay me to say this. But if you look right here, it says there's 33 seeds in that. I've got 2 rows planted with 2 to 3 seeds per. And I've got that many left over. So I would probably say they gave me about double that. I find that to be the case with most of the seeds I buy from Dollar Seed. They grow just as well as anything else you could get from anywhere. And I've really had good luck with their seeds. So just because there's a lot of seeds in the packet, you don't have to plant the whole packet, obviously. We'll save those for later. Maybe do some succession sowing a little bit later in the year. Direct sow these somewhere where I'm growing, say radishes or peas or something. They're going to come out, we'll harvest, and then I'll have an empty spot to plant more cucumbers. My wife is a cucumberaholic, so she'll have no problem keeping up with the production on these cucumbers. Plus, we should have some to sell at the farmer's market, I hope. if I can keep her out of them. So these are those mashed potato hybrid squash. I think it makes a difference. I always point them with the part that's going to sprout up. I think it matters with squash. I think if you can identify which direction the seed is going to start to grow, it's probably always best to give it a little heads up, a little head start. Give it the best chance you can give it to germinate. So there's our mashed potatoes. And I only have 4 left over, so we'll just kind of, some of the smaller seeds, if I can find some, we'll double up. And see what happens with those. And on my little free marker, I'll just put mash. I'll know what that means. And there we go. Okay, 2 more rows to plant. I've got to do my Hastelapastas and my butternuts. I do have some additional spaghetti squash, just regular spaghetti squash. I think I'll wait and direct sow those again. Do a little succession planting in a radish bed or something that maybe doesn't germinate. We'll direct sow those. So we'll put those back in the pile and finish this tray. So I buy my seeds from Burpee. These came from Burpee. My mashed potato squash came from Burpee. I use Dollar Seed. I use Pine Tree Seed. That's where the long cucumbers came from. I ordered from Baker Creek, Gurney's. Anyway, I order from all different places. I don't stick just one supplier, and I find that I have pretty equal success with all of them. So I buy what I like to grow and what I like to eat, and I get my seeds from wherever I can. We do have some Hastelapasta hybrid left over. We'll put those in case we have some room later on. We'll plant those. All we've got left now is the butternut. All right, we got the flat all planted. If anyone actually takes time to read my markers, they're going to really question what I'm growing. I got butter, pasta, mash, cute suyo. So that ought to confuse a few people. So I'm just going to take some more of this wet potting mix, put it over the top, and then we'll go over to my little seed starting rack, see if we can find a free spot to put it. So when I fill my seed tray, I pack the soil down in the cells fairly tight, and then when I push the seeds in so they're in really good contact with the soil. When I put the soil on top, I like to keep it nice and fluffy. I don't ever compress the top layer down over the seeds. I want to keep that nice and loose so the seeds have every chance they can to germinate and grow up through loose soil rather than hard pack. So here you go. We're all ready to go into the seed tray. Not the seed tray, the seed starting shelf. You can tell where Stella got a hold of my reflective curtain here. Dog. So you can tell, if you can see, I've got some potatoes in here that are starting to chip. They're actually looking really good. I cut them, and it looks like they've scabbed over really well. So they're looking real good. They're chitting well. And we'll when I put them in the tray, I'd make sure they're not in contact with the bottom of the tray, but they're in a tray that's got an elevated bottom, so the air can circulate and scab those over. Now we need some space. I think what I'll probably do, cabbage and broccoli are all doing great, but I made a mistake. And my son gave me a bunch of slips for purple sweet potatoes. I thought if I protected them from freezing, they would survive. Turns out they need to be about 50 degrees or warmer. And I don't think they're gonna make it, but we're gonna hold on to them and cross our fingers. But we're gonna put the new seeds in the prime real estate here. Except I've got to have a heat pad, so we'll change plans. Cabbage and broccoli do not need a heat pad anymore. But these guys will. Man, I made a fatal mistake. I have got to transfer. Hey, get out of there. Like I say, I don't buy these. I reuse the ones I've got from year to year to year. I've had most of this stuff for 10 years or more. Made the fatal mistake of not putting my cells in the bottom tray. They're in the dome. So hold on for a second while I correct my mistake and transfer them into the tray they're supposed to be in. Okay, that wasn't near as bad as I thought. I just separated the cells here in the middle and took each section out, keeping everything in line, obviously. And we'll put that in there on the heat pad. And then I put these domes on just to keep the heat in. Nothing more. As soon as they sprout and start needing the light, then I'll take that off and let them do their thing. And also I'll turn off the heat mat as soon as they've germinated and start shooting through the soil. So there you go. We'll put these broccoli and cabbage back in place and get this heat mat turned on. None of my heat mats are working right now since everything's up and growing actively. Looks like everything's still nice and hydrated. So we'll put this back to bed and button it back up. A little change in plans. I just had to slide that over so I could fit these bigger trays in with the broccoli and cauliflower and cabbage. And a couple of tomatoes in there, just for good measure. Here I've got my russet potatoes chitting. Looks like they're starting to do their thing a little bit. They're starting. These are leftovers from last year, the small ones from last year. More russets. Looks like they're starting as well. Might need to put a light down here so they don't get too leggy. If you see them doing that, they're looking for light. Those are no good. We'll see if we can salvage that one. Anyway, everything is looking good right now. I've got tomatoes. They're coming. They're looking better. These are the tomatoes I got them sprouted, and then I actually burned them by leaving them out in the sun too long, trying to harden them off. Up here, we got a little better luck. We got some tomatoes coming up. Cabbage is doing fantastic. More cabbage and cauliflower. So there you go. There is, if I can get back far enough, there is the seed starting rack from head to toe. Things are coming along. All right, well, thanks for stopping by this afternoon. Appreciate the support, the subscribes, the thumbs up, and your views. Appreciate it all. It should get up to about 60 this weekend. So we're getting close to where the broccoli and cabbage can go out. I just need the snow to melt so I can get to the dirt. But I'll bring you along for that hopefully in the next few days. So until next time, thanks for stopping by Little Hollow Homestead and have a good one. We'll catch you on the next one. See ya.